After you introduce it, I'll put it on.
Alright. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Searching With You.
That's us.
I'm Eitan Safro.
Yosef Topek.
Rob Dr. Yosef Topek.
That's me.
Sometimes you gotta reintroduce.
Sorry.
Searching With You is about exploring faith, emotions, and life's big questions. Well, keeping it real and having a good time.
That's right. Being honest.
Rebrand part 2. From Get to Know You to Searching With You. Everything in life's a stepping stone to where you need to be. Just gotta take the right steps.
To the real you.
Exactly. Today, our episode is called Where Are We Headed? As you can see, we have some hats here next to us. And we'll get to that in a second. Today's episode is gonna be about exploring what we chase, what gets in the way, and how to overcome it.
Some really tough questions coming your way.
That coming our way. But like we said, we're gonna explore, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
So I want to introduce our first collab. We have Hertz hats by the one and only Leo Tabelli from Brooklyn, New York, currently living in Herzliya. Let's put them on.
All right. We have on mine. There's a menorah, a star of David,
and I got a Jewish star. Oh, looks good.
Huh?
And I got an Israeli flag. Hertz hats are meaningful and presentable.
They're very, actually, and quite comfortable.
There we go.
Yeah, the material is great.
Leo doesn't mess around. He started Hertz hats. He's been working in the clothing accessory business for a couple of years now, and Leo's someone that's very passionate. He wants to make a name. I'll make this a little tighter. He wants to leave a name for himself.
I've never met Leo, but if he's anything like these hats,
I think he's exactly like these hats.
he's got my approval.
Leo's comforting. Leo's deep. Leo's got finesse.
He's got finesse. He's got
yeah. The Hertz is
got good quality. He's made of.
Absolutely. Shout out. Find people like Leo, keep them close, and then you end up with hats like these.
All
so this is
right.
our first collab, first sponsorship you want to call it.
Very
We
exciting.
love Hertz hats for Herzliya. That's where I live. I go to school.
Ah.
Exactly.
That's
And
so cool.
people in Herzliya wear these hats all the time. And what I really respect about Leo is that he's chasing his dreams. Like, I don't think he knows exactly what he wants to do, but like he's testing the waters. He's putting himself out there, and he's doing a lot of good things. And honestly, like I feel that's really hard to do. Like especially at a young age, to just put yourself out there like that.
It's very hard. I mean, yeah, it is hard.
Why do you think people struggle so much with putting themselves out?
Fear of failure. Like I say that with a lot of confidence. That's what a lot of it comes down to.
I don't disagree. I want to add another aspect. What about fear of success?
It's interesting you said that. It's something I wanted to get into today a little bit.
Let's do it. Let's search.
Well, first of all, tell me what you mean by fear of success.
I think it comes down to not thinking you can do it, not thinking you're good enough to reach it, to handle it once you're there, not knowing what that looks like.
So how is that different from fear of
failure? Fear of failure is external, like feeling that like other people don't value what you do.
Okay.
Feel of success is really feel of failure, but like that you're not enough. Don't thinking that you can do it.
Okay. Okay, I was thinking a little bit different.
Yeah, speak your mind.
I was thinking that what is like if you're somebody that's never succeeded, if you're somebody that's never gone anywhere, gotten anything, where's your comfort at? Like you're comfortable not pursuing things, you're comfortable just being. So putting yourself out there and perhaps becoming something, it's very unfamiliar. It's very uncomfortable. It's very scary.
That's something that gets in the way of chasing your goals?
Yes, I believe so.
I definitely agree that it's uncomfortable, but you know what else I think is uncomfortable? Being. Knowing that like you have more to give.
It's true.
It's really uncomfortable.
I mean, there's a concept of somebody who can be like, I'm going to use the word addiction, even though maybe it's not the correct word.
Yeah.
Being like addicted to depression. Like, why is this person still depressed? And we say because they find comfort in it. It's what they know.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with like not pursuing. Like, it's just what I know.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, I actually have a friend that's a good friend that's hurt by a girl. Sadly, he's a great guy. And like, I feel for him because he's sad. But he's also like making himself sad, listening to sad music, watching sad videos, and like, in a way, he's like, letting himself feel a lot. And I see that, but I also see that like it's breaking him down. So I'm trying to find the balance of like telling him like, yo, don't do this, but like also like being empathetic that like, hey, it's okay to feel this.
Right.
It's tough. Where's that balance at?
It's different for everybody. I mean, you have to find it because you have to allow yourself to feel, but at the same time, you have to recognize like.
I think what I came to was end of the day, like, dude, she hurt you, she's great, I get it, but like self-respect. At the end of the day, like, she's not reaching you where you are. I get it, you think she's great, but like a lot of it's your mind filling gaps that are there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like once he's a little less attached, he'll see that that like, bro, like she's not worth the way that you're feeling right now. And like you can think she's great, but like she's not this great that you should be feeling like this.
Right.
At least that's how I see it. I don't know her, but I know him, and that's my guy.
Right. And he needs to search for what role was she playing, what was she feeling, what was she, I mean, there's a lot there. And people are.
Yeah, he's my guy. I'm gonna send this clip. Yo, lots of love, bro. We've been through it all together. Keep going, bro. We're not giving up now.
Yes, definitely. Keep going.
All right. So we talked about things that get in the way. So let's go to our first question.
All right.
Just to like concise it.
Let's go.
By the way, we are rocking these hats.
Oh, I'm not.
Absolutely.
I don't even realize I'm wearing it. That's how comfortable it is.
Leo, let's go. Keep it up, bro. Use this as motivation because like we genuinely love it.
Hertz hats. You'll see me in it in Beit Shemesh.
Yeah.
What's Hertz? Come on.
Let's go. And this is why we play.
Right.
Jews gotta help each other. You know, by the way, one of the reasons that Jews are so successful as such a small group is that, you know, the Jewish dollar spreads it around the Jewish community 11 times before it leaves the Jewish community.
Wow.
Your $1 is getting me food, him rent, him whatever. You know, in the non-Jewish world, secular world, how many times the dollar goes around before it leaves?
Not 11.
Once. And this is
Come on.
This is why we succeed. We give each other parnasa. We help
Come
each
on,
other
man.
out.
Call our ravens Elazar.
You know what? Because when God sees that we're helping each other, He wants to help us. You're a parent. I feel like you can attest to this. When your kids are helping each other, how can you not want to help? How can you not want to get in there and be like, hey, like I'm with you guys.
Totally true.
We're a team. And
There's nothing as beautiful.
Wow. I know God's here with us. I feel Him today. I'm feeling good right now. I'm really excited for this episode.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's get on it.
All right. So question number 1: why does growing hurt? Why are we so stuck to comfort? And why are we scared to start the journey?
Oof. Why does growing hurt? Let's break it down.
Yeah, why does growing hurt? Like the thought that comes to my mind first right away is that when I was younger, I'll go like, Mom, my legs are hurting. She'd be like, oh, you're growing. Like, why does that hurt? It did hurt.
Right. I mean, how many times in yeshiva are guys like going through such hard times, and they're like going from, you know, one level to the next. They're growing, and I say that to them so many times, like, this can be a painful experience, but that just means that you're growing. And it's a great comparison to the growing pains of your body.
Definitely.
It's the same thing.
One more comparison, and then we'll get more into it. I heard this a few months ago. Like either a crab or a snail, maybe it's a crab. It's like born with a shell, and then it starts growing inside the shell, and like it starts hurting because it's like contained, and then it breaks out of the shell and it gets like into its right shell.
Mm.
So like there clearly is like built-in pain to growth.
Yeah.
I want to understand that more, and I want to challenge that to see if we could view it better to make it less painful.
Okay. I mean, we can think about it at like I don't know, basic level perhaps, but like someone that's used to sleeping, you know, let's talk about, you know, living in our world, right? Where we get up in the morning, we go to davening, that's how we begin our day. Take somebody who's used to sleeping till 10, 11 o'clock every day.
Mm-hmm.
I just sleep and I get up whenever my body's done. Boom. Now they set an alarm at 7 o'clock because they want to get up and daven. That's painful.
It's not your nature.
Mornings are hard and you're trying to change something. That's painful. You're growing.
So I understand that, and now I want to try to offer a different structure. Clearly, if you're changing your ways, you want to change your ways because you see something good in it. Why do we feel the pain when we feel the excitement of that? I'm stepping into my new shell and becoming a better person. It is uncomfortable, the new is scary, but the new is exciting. And I think that sometimes we don't see that until we start feeling comfort in the new.
Well, I think that it's always, think about the first few days of something new and that excitement and like, ooh, then you get into it and it's like, that's when the pain comes. It doesn't come right away.
It can be both ways. It can be pain and excitement then pain. I guess it depends how comfortable your surroundings are.
True.
But I definitely hear that.
And just because something is painful doesn't mean that it's not exciting and doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do.
Yes, I think that both excitement and pain are temporary, and both help us step into that new version of ourselves. And I think we need both.
Yeah.
I think we need to see this is good, but we need to like overcome. I guess at the end of the day, like growing through pain toughens you up.
No doubt. No doubt.
And I guess that's why we need it. Going through excitement, it just makes you feel good, which is good too. But I think we need to be tough because life's gonna have its challenges, and I think the only way to understand that is pain.
I mean, how many times have we seen on like, probably like TV or movies or like reality shows. Like, if I hadn't gone through those painful experiences, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Definitely.
Like, haha, whatever.
Mid-quote.
But I'm saying there's truth to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely
I'll making fun of someone that used that quote.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll send in the clip.
Okay, but it's definitely truth to it. Meaning, yeah.
We need our experiences for sure.
Right.
Fine. So like, I guess what we're saying is that pain and excitement are both just going to be part of the process. And like we said, like perception is not going to change that because it's built in to be both. Like moving to a new shell is good, but breaking an old shell is hard because we are used to it. And I think just being aware that both are going to happen is also good.
Right.
It takes away like on both sides like the level of how much you feel, which is good because we need to contain things that are going on, or else we find an imbalance in our day-to-day when we're not feeling so intense to either side.
Right, and it won't always hurt.
And it won't always feel exciting too.
Correct. That will go away.
I hear. Okay, so then that answers why does growing hurt. Do we answer why we're scared of starting the journey? Well, that goes back to what we said, maybe like success and failure.
Yeah.
Maybe we can into that a little bit more.
Yeah. Why are read the question one more time?
Like, why are we scared to start the journey? Like, why do we get stuck in the comfort?
Right.
We're good at it.
We're good at not doing.
We're good at being in our comfort. We're good at being in our shell.
Right.
I just think we have to be. I think that's okay to be comfortable, but like when we start feeling that pain of the comfort, like we're starting to like grow out of our shell, like acknowledge that pain, because we either need to like expand our shell and sometimes break our shell.
Mm-hmm. Can you give an example
Of when I
only if you're comfortable with it, of something that of a journey that was
Scared
hard
to
to
start?
or
Yeah, I'll actually give a very personal example. I've struggled for a long time with looking at things on my phone that like for religious reasons and personal reasons, emotional reasons, I shouldn't be. Very difficult. And this year I decided that I needed to change. Always I felt like a pain growing. I always try to like manage it, whatever, but like I feel like in order to like expand my shell, to move forward, to like get rid of that pain, I had to take a new pain and get rid of it to overall expand my pain, because I realized it was holding me back more than it was helping me. And I set up a bunch of accountability things and filters that block what I see, and thank God I feel a lot better. Does it come with pains? Growing pains? Absolutely. Do I think I'm a tougher person because of it? 100%. And I think that I'm involved in better things now and looking for better things.
That's great.
And it was a journey to start. It was a really hard thing to overcome, but I like the version of myself way better without it.
Sure, that's amazing. So very proud. Was it hard, like when you made that decision? I'm gonna do this.
I'm a really like impulsive and emotional person. So like when something in the moment feels right, even recognizing my bias and how intense I feel, like if it feels right, I'll let myself do it. So like I felt very inspired, and when I did it, I was surrounded by Rebellion that were really giving me the inspiration that I need, and like them being there also made me feel less alone in it. And I'm like, I can do this.
That's a good piece you just added in there.
Not feeling alone in it.
Yeah, not feeling alone in it. I mean, I've had a lot of times. I could even take like this experience that you and I have been having together.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how long I've been talking about doing something like this. I'm impulsive in the way that I say like, yes, I'm gonna do it, but that's where the impulse stops. Like I don't do it, and I'm not sure why, but
it's hard.
It's hard.
Laziness, comfort, other things, and let's go to the root. Fear of failure.
Definitely fear of failure, and you can make so many excuses.
Fear of the unknown.
Totally.
That's why we're gonna respect Leo a lot, because
he just jumped.
Doesn't matter who cares. It's the most famous, least famous. First of all, respect, because he's built a solid brand for himself. Like Hertz Hats is in our world is pretty known. It's not easy. Like I would say, people say it's podcasting. The hardest part is doing it, recording it, like because it is always hard. Like for me personally with podcasting, is this a hobby? Is this a job? Is this good? Is this bad? Do people like this? But you find your way step by step.
Yeah, and I think the only way sometimes is just do it.
Yeah. I said, what do you say?
Just do it.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Nike, if you want to collab with us, hit our lines.
If Hertz Hats can do it.
We were talking about this before we recorded, when we were setting up. Like, I have overthinking, and I said to you, one of the ways that I could cancel out overthinking sometimes is by following a positive impulse. Sometimes that's trying to tell you something, and sometimes you gotta just do it. You gotta be careful and awareness. But like I said, like even with like emotional blindness, like be careful. But like sometimes you just know it's right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need help. Like I'll give you a little background. This podcast started by you just giving me one of your ideas in the base, and that happens to be a field that I was involved in. And I know that we get along well. And you were like, I want to do this podcast. You spit to me the idea. I said, oh, that sounds good. I kind of condensed it a little bit into like a more precise. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's record tomorrow. Also starting right away.
That's right.
If not now, when? Because that's the only way you show you really want to do it. My roommate this week was telling me like, I want to go to Minion, and he'll say to me, are we going to Minion tomorrow? I'll be honest with him, be like, I don't want to go, but you should go. And I'm like, why can't you go if I'm not going? I'm like, why do you need me to wake you up? He's like, because then someone's relying on me. I'm like, I get that. The responsibility is good, but like, why do you not feel about like relying on yourself? Like, where's that accountability? He's like, I have a real problem with people pleasing, and he does. It has its good parts too, but self-respect is really important. And I told him like it's nice to have the outside, but you gotta build it from within.
Do it for you.
Once you do things for you, you get the best out of all your relationships because your intentions are good. I see that so much more now. Communication becomes easier, vulnerability becomes easier because you're on a playing field now that allows you to do the right things, build things from the right places.
Yeah, that's very good.
Wow. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
So, we're talking about dreams, the future. So when you look into the future, is it clear or is it blurry?
So that's a really great question.
I guess it depends if you got your glasses on or not.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, but you being the one whose future, not that I don't have a future in front of me.
Rob has the brightest future.
But those of you who don't know it, Eitan's a little younger than me.
I'm 21.
So what is your future look like? I want to start there.
Is it clear or blurry?
Yeah, let's start there. Let's start simple.
It's blurry, very blurry, but there are pieces that I know are going to be there, and then there are pieces that I think are going to be there that I'm sure won't be there.
Wow.
And I know that I trust myself to make the right decisions as it comes along. So it's blurry in a way where I can see part of the picture where it's like, I like this, okay, and the rest of it that's like not clear yet. Like I trust it'll become such a good clear.
Right.
Because in the past, like you could hope for your future, but like if you're not open to what's going to come, you're gonna have a harder time breaking out of your shell, like we're talking about. Like I am very open to change and what's in front of me now because I see that that's the best way to go about my life. I think that it's good to have future plans, but I think that by making future decisions for yourself now without openness is dangerous because we don't have all the information yet.
Oh, I think it's I think you're so ahead of the game. I think that the reason that I would say, even at my age and where I am in life, that the future is somewhat blurry is because when I was your age, I think I thought, yeah, my future's clear. Like, there's no blur. I know exactly what's going to happen. And if there's one thing I've learned along the way, you have no idea. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm saying that you need to be open to the experiences that are going to come along.
Because they're there to shape you.
They're there to shape you. They're there to shape you. They're there to help you. They're there to soften you. And if you're not open to those experiences, you're just going to destroy relationships.
You won't get the best out of it.
Right? You'll destroy everything that you have.
It'll take you longer.
Plan and think this is what's going to happen. This is what I need to do.
Definitely. You can always look back and say like, oh, I need all these things, but you could also learn from your past and be like, maybe I don't need to go through all of that to learn what I know now.
Right.
And that's where being honest with yourself is really key. Sarah, listen to that. Go back and listen to that. She's gonna listen, so I think that's important for her. And I wanted to talk about something you said. I'm curious why you think it takes a long time for people to realize. I'm not boosting myself at all, but like I feel like I'm open because I have learned. Like I've been planning. I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna be this and this, but I'm not. But I couldn't be happy where I am. So again, like I think planning is good, but I just see now like it's not everything I want's gonna happen,
right.
And it's not best what's gonna happen.
I think that people, why, I don't know, but I think people, let's say like in my circles, in our circles, people go through life, they go to yeshiva, maybe they then go to college or they stay in yeshiva, they get married, they think, okay, my marriage is gonna look like this, I'm gonna raise my kids like this.
Because it's comforting to know that.
Yeah, and because you think that's how things are gonna play out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why wouldn't they? This is what I want.
This is what I'm doing.
And I want good, I want positive, I want connection to Hashem in my life, so of course this is what's going to happen. But it's not always the case.
Right. I think it's okay to want that. Just be ready to roll with the punches and adjust as you go along.
Right. It's important. It's okay to want it. I think it's important to want it, and you should want it.
Right. You need direction.
But know then it's not all gonna look as clear as you think.
Right. What I'm thinking right now is like we're gonna be like walking on a path, and we're on our path. It's clear. It looks good. And then we have 2 ways to go. And I just think that when we get to that place, we'll know. You could think now I might go this way, and maybe that's okay. But just know like maybe the other way has something to offer you. As long as we spoke about this last week, you're being guided by the right things, your values and the right people.
Right.
Like you'll make the right decision.
A lot of times though, when you do get there, you still might fight it and say, no, this isn't what my future, I had a clear picture and it didn't include this.
Because it's expanding your journey. It's uncomfortable.
Exactly. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, and it's not it's not my intention, it's not what I wanted.
Yeah. It's scary to like admit you're wrong and to go into things, but to what I said before, like this fear and excitement, why is the quote fear of the unknown not fine, it can be fear of the unknown, but why is there not also excitement of the unknown? That's not a statement, like that's not a saying. Like why do we focus so much on the negative?
That's a good question.
New is scary, but new is awesome.
I don't know, I think you have to be brave to say that new is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, the reason I'm pausing is because I'm trying to think like in my life, is new awesome?
Not always.
Right, and plus by definition, it's unknown. You really have to be brave to say it's exciting. I'd almost compare it to thrill seekers, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm.
Like extreme sports.
Yeah.
I almost feel like the unknown in life, to me, it feels like jumping out of an airplane. Like it's an intense.
As someone that jumped out of an airplane.
You did?
Yep, shout out Sandy.
Come on.
I went skydiving.
Wow.
It is scary, but without the excitement, without acknowledging the excitement, why would you do it? Oh, this is scary. I don't do something scary. I need another pull.
That's what I'm saying. And you're somebody that perhaps is excited about the unknown. But there's people that would never in a million years go skydiving.
Yeah, you would not go. I'd pay a decent amount to watch a live stream of you going skydiving.
I won't do it.
I have a video on my phone. I'll show you later.
Really?
Of me skydiving. Oh my god, I was going like I was having a great time.
Wow. I tried to scuba dive.
Ooh, I went scuba diving once. I had a solid time and then it got a little tough. But anyway, back to what we were saying. I'll speak about an experience. This past summer, I went to Camp Mosheva. It was a weird summer for me being camp. It was new. I never went to Mosheva. But like after all like the things I just did, like college, Israel, switching around, I'm like, oh, I can handle this. Socially, I'd always be fine. It sounds like a good place. Was I scared? Yes, but I was excited because I thought it would be good. It's camp. I'll adjust and I'm gonna grow a lot. I was brave. I'll give it to myself. It was less exciting than I thought. There were a lot of hard times. Good times were there too. But I don't like this. But overall, I define it as a difficult summer. But I'm still not mad that I let that excitement take me in because it let me like have a potential for success. And even with the difficulty, it still allowed me to be successful there. I grew a lot. I learned a lot. And it was a good experience for me. I think we need to listen to that excitement too. Let it be there, and let the fear be there too. The fear keeps you grounded.
Right. I mean, I don't know if I would do anything that is unknown and exciting that I don't know it would be good for me.
Yes, 100%.
I'm not sure if I would do anything just for the experience. Like maybe I'm like talking like an old lazy person.
No, I think yeah.
No, that's it. But just for the experience, I don't know.
People that say just for the experience, they're really talking about the excitement of the experience. And at the end of the day, there's other posts, but like no one just wants to do something just for the F of it. You know, it's like yes, if it's exciting, there has to be something good. Like I'll bring something in good. As humans, we're pleasure seekers. I read this in a book. Russo. Every single decisions that humans make is about pleasure. And you know, like I was pushing back on that. First of all, what do you think of that statement? Let's start there.
Everything humans do.
Every single decision humans make is all about pleasure for themselves.
Okay, I mean we could break it down. Perhaps it is.
So
at face value, it doesn't sound right to me, but like as we break it down, it could be.
So I'll say the next line. Sometimes that means choosing something that's harder in the moment. But you choose that hard in the moment because it's gonna make you feel better later.
Right. So that's how we're breaking it down.
And that's a pleasure.
Okay.
And that's also growth. And it's important. No one's saying it's always easy, but we choose pleasure. Yeah.
No, right. Like even someone that gets, people who get vaccines. Like it's painful, but why do I do it? Because I think it's gonna make me healthy.
I'm gonna have a pleasure of not being sick.
Right.
And I tried pushing it back, giving a lot of examples, and I realized how every little thing was pleasure.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it in the little details of my life. I was on a hike, and I was like being aware of like which rocks I was choosing to walk on. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm like, oh, this rock's chill, this rock's smooth, this one's close. I'm like, this is pleasure. And then when I choose to wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning, it's the pleasure of going to my class or not missing the class, or the pleasure of being productive.
Yeah.
And that's okay. As human, we're pleasure seekers.
Yeah.
I just think we have to be very aware of when we're going to choose the now pleasure or take the pain for the later pleasure.
Even doing something for someone else that's painful for us, I guess one could say it's pleasure because we're getting something out of giving to that other person.
Yes, I was gonna say, yeah, the pleasure of loving them and the pleasure of love of them being happy.
Yeah.
Or investing in a relationship as a whole. Like, it's a pleasure.
It's very interesting.
And it's hard because pleasure doesn't always feel good.
Right.
And
that's really that's a great statement, because the word pleasure makes you think like, oh, it feels good.
yeah,
But it's not.
right. Well, that's like, I guess, short-term pleasure versus long-term.
Right. The way we're looking at it.
Definitely, but I guess like what we're talking about, there's a real value to long-term pleasures, but I just food for thought, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone can take what they want from that. What do you take from that? Let's just sum it up to like get a little more concise.
Pleasure.
Yeah. What was our whole question? Is future clearer now? Pleasure? We just, I don't know.
Right. So what do I take from the pleasure conversation just now is that, you know, sometimes when you're starting something and you're thinking, I really don't want to do this, why do I have to do it? Sometimes it's worth it to think down the road a little bit. Like, you
What's
know,
going to serve me?
right. And why am I doing this? What am I gonna get out of it? Sounds selfish, but like, why am I doing this?
What am I
What's
gonna get out
the
of it?
purpose of doing this?
You're very sweet for saying that. Like it's your life. Like, you gotta
Well,
live a good life.
is it okay to do something if you're not gonna get anything out of it? Did we just mention that maybe?
I think we said that we don't do that
Yeah.
because we're pleasure seekers.
Right. I want to take out the word pleasure for a minute.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, okay, but like, without the word pleasure, would I ever do something for someone else?
Well, in the show Friends, which is one of my favorite shows, Phoebe and Joey made a bet on, is there such a thing as selfless good deed? Joey said no, and Phoebe said yes. So Phoebe's tried doing all these things, and whatever, she's doing all these weird things, and Joey was proving wrong that like what was selfish about it. And like end of the day, Phoebe said she went to the park and let a bee sting her so he could look cool in front of all his bee friends. She goes back to Joey and says, see, like, that was selfless. And she go, and like his comeback was like, Phoebe, you know that bee probably died, right? And that was where that was at.
But you know, we say like levias ames, right? Taking care of a dead body is totally selfless. We don't get
Because you
paid
can't get back.
for it, but
You know what? I still think
yes.
I still think that that's selfish, but like on a really, really good level. We're meant to be selfish. It's our life.
Okay. You're saying what? The selfish part
At
is
the end of the day,
feel good about doing it.
Which people do Clever Kedisha? The best people, because they're the most givers, because like they're on such a high level that like in a way that feels good for them. It's not like selfish, like, oh, screw you, you care about yourself. We should care about ourselves. We should love ourselves. We should love ourselves through loving other people. That is where it's at. I want to say that again. Being selfish. If being selfish means loving yourself through loving other people, that is the best thing you could do. Yeah.
Do you think we should strive to get to a level that we give people regardless? Like we give tzedakah and we don't get anything out of it. We give charity and we don't get anything out of it.
I think we're incapable of giving if we don't think we get anything out of it.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Everything is two ways. It's a two-way experience. Like, there's two sides to every story, you know? Like, I think we spoke about this. The word giving, natan, nun tuf nun, it's a palindrome. It's spelled the same way backwards. When you give, you get.
Right.
When you get, you grow. When you grow, you give. It's a cycle. And then when you give, you get. When you get, you grow. When you grow, you give. And I always say this, but it goes give, get, grow. And then the next time you give, get, grow. Give, get, grow. Give, get, grow.
Right, and you're growing.
So like, growing is getting and growing hurts, like we said, but I think that's so nice. That's such a beautiful setup that like knowing giving is the best thing for us.
Right.
It's gonna make us the happiest. It's gonna give us the most. It's okay to give selfishly. Like what's the line? Balishma.
It's all shalom lishma balishma.
Yeah.
Do something. Divine it. If you're doing something for an ulterior motive, eventually you'll do it
For the right reasons.
right.
And what I'm saying is that I think that both are selfish, but like being selfish channeled right is good. And that's what we should work towards being.
Okay.
So like, should we all work to the Chevra Kedisha? Why not? I think it's a high level to reach, but they've clearly mastered the selfishness.
Right.
mastering selfishness. It's not a thing. It's something I thought would be possible. It's crazy. Perception can really change the world.
Yeah.
The little things
That's
aren't
what
so
we
little.
do.
Check out my new Instagram account I'm doing for school, but I'm trying to post a lot of good things. That's called the Little Things. By the way, like always, if you're here at this point in the podcast, you're a real one. Tobak always says, write us in, because this is we're exploring together. We're exploring here, like
Yes. Searching.
because we're all searching. None of us have the answers. We're just trying to find our way.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, let's move to our next topic about growing and searching. Have you ever felt like you were growing in the wrong direction? You know what? Before the podcast, I said I want you to ask this to me, but I want you to talk about this.
Have you ever felt that you're growing in the wrong direction?
Yeah, you don't have to, just trust your gut.
Yes. I think I felt I'm growing in the wrong direction.
Do you want to speak about it?
Yeah, I think when I get like tunnel vision, maybe perhaps into
Yeah, you're good. Keep talking.
just perhaps into like religion maybe.
Yeah.
And I think that like, nope, this is what Allah says, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, and not allowing
Your search?
my search or even other people's emotions or feelings.
You're saying when you were like being a rabbi to people?
When I'm being a rabbi to people, when I'm being a father to people,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm being a husband to people,
It's very
whatever
close to
it
you.
is. Yeah, like being blinded by certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I came to a point in my life that I had to be open. I had to be open to the experience of others.
Definitely.
Even if it didn't feel right to me, I had to be open to it, and I had to support it, and I had to be there for it.
How did you do that when it didn't feel right for you?
I made it feel right for me through caring and loving the person.
Selfishly loving someone?
That's what made it feel right for me. What do you mean selfishly loving?
That's kind of what we just spoke about, that like, you wanted to feel good for you, but it was hard because it was uncomfortable because it wasn't what you believed, but like you tapped into like the loving them and that their process and them feeling good, that settled out your imbalance of feeling confused.
Maybe eventually, but
You
definitely
think you were
at
putting
first.
them first?
Because I was at first. It was hard because it wasn't easy. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna love them. Okay, now this feels great.
Right.
It's a hard thing to do, but if you remind yourself that take this individual out of their actions and love them for them, then it's like, okay, their actions are
What does for them mean? Their intentions?
not even their intentions, just for who they are, for their intention.
How do you love someone for who they are if you're like disagreeing on big things?
Okay.
I guess I have an answer, like you don't define them by that. There has to be other things that you value so much that like
Right.
we just see it as
exactly
part of the picture.
Right. I don't define them. Right. Perfect. I don't define them by these actions. I define them by who they are. I define them by the relationship we have. I define them by the relationship that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that relationship that we have should trump everything.
And that has a lot of layers to it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. So you're saying is that you felt like you were growing in the wrong direction by being closed off.
Right.
What happened? Like, were you hurting, or were the people, like, were your relationships hurting? Like,
Relationships were hurting.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because why? People were not like
I
your
was
responses.
Yeah, and I was being more closed-minded to people, and
Wow.
when you think that you know everything, and that your way is the right way, and you preach that too much to people, it can turn them off and turn them away from you.
100%.
Oh, you don't care about me. You just care that I do this.
Exactly. You're not seeing them.
Right.
They're seeing you fit into their reality, and that's just my reality is a whole different world. It's like join me in my reality and let's work together.
Right.
Which is
No, and that probably was true at the time, and I think that.
But you came to that.
Meaning, I think that at the time it was true that I love you when you fit into my reality, when you fit into my dreams, when you fit into what I want.
But it's
And I think that's a problem for many of us.
I think it sounds like you came to the conclusion that real love doesn't work that way, because love operates at its best when both people are in it.
Yeah.
And you have to really get out of your world for that.
I totally do. You have to step into each other's worlds, and you have to.
It's amazing because, in a lot of ways you're professional, therapist, rabbi, but like one of the things that I admire most about you is your openness. not just your presence of like being able to talk to, but like the way that you could accept people. And it's funny you say now that like it wasn't always like that, because like I see you as like you mastered that. And we don't, I made a video about this one time, it's funny. We don't see a whole story. We see something where we're like, oh, he's good at that, he's good at that, but like usually when someone's really good at something, it took, like we said, the breaking out of the shell.
That's right.
And the growth.
Yeah, and yeah, and I'm grateful to everybody who, I want to say forced me to do that, but
Encouraged you. And you guided yourself to do that. Give yourself some credit.
I definitely think that there's been a lot of growth, and that's definitely an area that you know I had to struggle and change and grow in.
That's awesome. Well, I'm not going to answer on that. I think we could leave it at that. And it seems like we're in a good direction now. And let's do our last question of the day. You know, when it comes to connecting back to dreams and growth, like, what's the difference between quitting and letting go? Because sometimes it's not enough and we need to stop, and sometimes we shouldn't stop and we do stop. So what's the difference between quitting and letting go?
You have a story to share on either of those?